Hi and welcome back. I thought I'd do a quick update today on some things that are going on. So I did take the cardboard off of all of the spikes because now they're all kind of repositioned except for the Chenzen diamond right here. And as you can see, her spike is growing now towards that light, and I feel like it's far enough out that I can leave her that way. She's not going to bend backwards towards the shelf lighting. The mother-in-law's tongue is doing pretty good. She's got a little bit of leaf tip dieback up there, but other than that, she's fine. And then the hippodamia, let me see if I can get in here. The hippodamia right here, can you see her new growth is just right there. It's just taken off. And then I don't see any new growth on the other piece over there, but I do see a root coming, so that's exciting. The Brassavola Little Stars is just doing whatever it does. It's not doing much of anything. The Montana Big Sky is finishing off this. It's hardening off now, but she does have some new root activity. And then my Sansevieras down here, as you can see, the one in the back, I think that's called the California Sunset. She's losing her anthocyanin, so she is turning green. But I did want to mention too, as far as light training, you can also light train houseplants. As you can see, these new growths are heading towards the grow light there, whereas this one is starting to head towards the window. But interesting, let's see if I can see how it curves? That's because it was growing that way and I turned her, and then she just kind of straightened herself up, and now she's going this way. The alocasia has a new leaf coming out right there, so that's good. And then I just love the way that Lola is just getting huge, just huge. And then, of course, the Sherry babies. I'll be doing an update on them either later this week or next week. And I have moved Miss Peaches a little bit closer to the window so that the spike can continue to grow. And I did take the cardboard off because, like I said, this is very bright all day, even when the sun's not on. I mean, you can see the sun's not shining into the house, but it's still really, really bright. Then also my gold staff here that I have moved a little bit this way. She was sitting further away from the table, but I moved her over here, and this leaf is kind of resting on this big girl here, which I'm going to show you in a minute, because it's hardening off, and I want it to harden off straight, not wonky. Let's see, the one that's in the perlite is growing roots, and she's got new leaf growth. And then this one here still has the cardboard. I did cut the spike. This was the big white one. I'll post a picture. I cut the spike so that she can, oh man, I forgot to take the stake out. Okay, well, let me stick it in here. Oh, see those down there? Those were my cyclamen, but as you can see, they did not make it through their rest. That's okay. No big deal. I'll leave it alone. But I left the cardboard here because she is sitting close to the grow light, and I don't want her spike growing all winky. And I am moving the clip up as she moves up. So once she gets to be about right here, then I'll let her just kind of arch. But I don't want her to start arching quite yet. And then look at the leaves of this girl right here. Look how big they are. Look at this. Look at this. They look like green apples. Oh my goodness. I mean the color, not the shape. But oh my goodness. So I was at the grocery store yesterday, and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta have that. But I don't know if you can tell or not, but her background has a green in it instead of just all white. Do you see that kind of green? Let me see if I can put my hand all the way over there. Look at the size of these blooms. Oh my goodness, I couldn't resist it. I know. I already have like a bazillion of phalaenopsis, but they are still my favorites. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, let's just look at her for a minute. She's just gorgeous. And what I really like is a lot of phalaenopsis have that bright yellow in the throat. She doesn't have that. Her throat is actually just a really, really, really deep, deep, deep purple. Look at that. That is just beautiful. Oh my goodness. I fell in love with her. I saw her from across the room, and at that moment I knew she was coming home with me. Okay, enough. Then my white cattleya has new growth, new roots. There's a root peeking right there, so I think she's going to be okay. She does look a little sick right now, but I think she's going to recover just fine. And then I really think that that is a Thanksgiving cactus, either way it goes. Look at this. Let me see if I can get down here and look at her. Look how pretty she is. And I saw an open bloom today, a fresh one. Let's see if I can turn her around and find it for us. Is it yes, look at this. Oh, is that not gorgeous? Look at that. That is just beautiful. I need to find somewhere I can put her up a little bit higher so you can really enjoy the blooms. Because right now with them hanging down, I mean, the top part is just as gorgeous, but I would love to see the blooms all the way. And let's see, is there, oh, my Nodosa crossed with Cattleya Small World is starting to go over. And for a minute there, I thought, oh my goodness, I got a mislabeled plant because, let me just pull her down real quick. I thought that my yellow bird here and this one were the same plant, but they're not. I mean, they look very, very similar, but you can kind of tell a little bit in the lip. The Nodosa crossed with the Small World, the lip is a lot wider. Let me go up this way so you can kind of see. And then the Little Stars is more elongated and kind of crunched up there, but look at the spotting on both of them. They're just gorgeous. They have similar smell too. It's a light powdery smell. My Nodosa crosses are not as strong in scent as some people say their Nodosas are, but that's okay. So we're just going to come up here because I want to show you on my red lava here. Can you see all that? But look at this. She's kicking out another new growth as well as, is that a root? Or is that another growth? Hopefully it's a root because she really needs some roots, but you see those nubbins too, so I may have some more directions of growth, which is good. And I believe, oh, I did move the Tadia in here because this spike, I was trying to protect it from the cool down room. I didn't want it to get too cool. So I did move her in here. So now she's sitting on the top shelf. My Maxima here, take her down. My Maxima is, look at that new growth right there. Just extending and growing, and that leaf should be opening soon. But it's also kicking out another new growth. She's got all kinds of roots going down into this pot. And this growth here is also growing. It's not growing quite as well as the other one, but that's okay. She's growing. That's all that matters, right? At the end of the day. And other than the spikes continuing to go out and the buds are swelling, so should see some blooms by, oh, I'm going to say January. First, second week of January maybe. If they follow suit of what I'm used to my phalaenopsis doing. The leaf on this one here, which is the Golden Supercross, is widening up. It's hardening off, but just go around real quick. It has a new growth already pushing out on it. Those roots are just continuing to pop out. And I'm really proud of myself that the sheath is still on there because normally I would have pulled it off by now. But I'm trying not to mess with them. Our Brasidium here, still working on her growth as well, and she is growing really, really slow, even though she's got plenty of roots. And these bulbs look desiccated because when I first got her, she did dry out quite badly, but they are hard. So I'm just waiting for these leaves because this one here and this one here are starting to get absorbed. So I'm just waiting for these leaves to come off because these leaves get in the way because of the way it grew over. And I got her with them growing that way. This one was bent all the way because they were dehydrated when I received her. I don't have pictures because that was before the day. My Key Lime Stars blooms still look like they are going very strong. I don't see any of them going over quite yet. As a matter of fact, they've gotten a little more green since I showed them the last time. And she is putting out some new roots right there, and she's got a couple more in the back. My other Brassavola little stars is right here. And this one here is just extending out. Let's see if we can find it. That new growth. So not sure what's going to happen with her. I don't see any roots in the pot quite yet for her, but that's all right. She's not drying up. So the one pseudobulb is getting a little crinkly. This one here, is this the Elaine Taylor? Nope. Yep, the Elaine Taylor. She's finishing this growth here, and we might get a spike if that doesn't dry out. Look at that. I am excited because it was blooming size, and of course I've left her in her nursery pot. Again, I'm trying to learn, and so fingers crossed that does not dry out and we do end up getting to see a bloom. I cut Pink Doll's flower about a week ago, so she's recovering. And let's see if we can take her out of here. This new growth here is starting to put out a root, so I will be repotting her soon. And I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put her in here or if I'm going to put her in a plastic pot. I haven't really made up my mind yet. The Naomi's Delight, look how quickly this growth is shooting up. I mean, look at that. My goodness, that is just going so quickly. And Jane Austen here has, let's see if we can move some of the bark out of the way. She's working on her new root system. And I think the sheath in here is a blind sheath, but I'm hoping that the next growth gives me a bloom, because the three before this one had blind sheaths in them, and then this one looks like it's going to be a blind sheath. So I'm hoping the next one will give me a bloom, because I was kind of expecting this sheath to not develop all the way through, because I did repot her. And of course, my dewy forest here. Look at these growths. Oh my goodness, they're just so pretty. Look how pretty they are. All right, and then down here on the phalaenopsis shelf. So when I initially showed you guys, let me get my stool so I can sit down and it won't be so wanky. But when I first showed you guys the Philippinensis, I showed you she was in spike, and I thought she was going to grow this way, because like I said, visually, that's where the brightest light was. Well, guess what, guys? She's like, no, I want the light on that side. But look how quickly that's grown. That's just amazing to me, how quickly her spike has grown compared to this spike back here. Is barely longer than it was the last time we looked at it, and it looks like she's going to try to go to the wall, even though I have moved her closer this way. So I might put a cardboard or something back there to encourage that to come forward. And of course, look how slow that bloom is developing, but that's okay. That's okay. She's growing. That's what matters, right? And I did a care collab a couple of days ago, last week, on the Sogo Vivian, and more blooms have opened. So there's those, and let's just turn her around. Look at that. Oh, she's just, focus. Come on, focus, focus. There we go. Look at that. Is she not just beautiful? Just beautiful. Oh, she's not fragrant, and I don't mind at all. She's gorgeous. That's all that matters. And then Mini Mart is still, I did lose one bloom back here, but the rest of them are looking still pretty fresh. Taishan Fly Eagle. Look at this. Look at that. It's fattening up. I can't wait. I hope to see that pretty bloom soon. And then, of course, she is absorbing her back leaves back there. And then Sanderiana, this leaf is almost as big as this back leaf here. She did absorb the one baby leaf she had when she came. She was absorbing it already. Not much going on with the Violacea or the Bellina. You know, I have two Bellinas, and I was thinking of putting one on a mount to see how it does. Leave your comments below. Let me know if you think I should do that, or do they do better in a pot. And Yopon evergreen, not doing much of anything. But excitingly enough, let's see, this is the Sea Breeze cross. I was kind of worried because my little apples, look how shriveled they were. My goodness, they're just so shriveled, trying to protect her. But she's got some new roots coming out. So when I repotted her, she had like 1 or 2 roots, but now look at the explosion of roots down there. And it looks like that might be a new growth right there because it's at the base. Because at first I thought it was part of the wrinkling, but it's at the base. So hopefully that does something. My Cernua is just doing her thing. And then this one, I noticed, had a sheath in it. So we might get a bloom on that one as well, but we might not. We'll just have to wait and see. And Vanda Pearl Cooper is still working on her new leaf over there. And then my Chatela Day. So I did reach out to Paula at Hillbilly Orchids because I was kind of concerned about the spotting on here. But we've determined that's probably anthracene in spots where she's getting too much light because it's not spreading, and it's just on this leaf right here. And there are a couple spots on this leaf. So I will be moving her further away from this brighter light. The Hariella retricala is finally done blooming and is working on a new root right there. And I think that's it. Nope. And then back here, Miss Velvet is working on a new leaf. And that is it. Oh, wait. I keep saying that is it, and it's not. We have ourselves 2 new growths on this beauty here. Let's see. Let me take her out of the pot. I don't know why I try to do this with them all up underneath. But let's see. Look at all the roots. She's just exploding with roots. But we have a new growth right here and one right there, even after I broke that one right there. So it has decided it was going to bless me with another growth. Just leave that sitting there for a second. So down here, I did move the Schilleriana down here to make room for my paths during the Christmas redo there. But that root is continued to extend, and the roots in the pot are good, and she is still not trying to absorb that one leaf that's kind of got the little fold up there. And I still have my Zygopetalum down here as well, who is working on this growth as well as this growth right here, but still no roots, which is kind of weird. I was expecting roots by now, but like I said, once I see roots, I'll be able to put her in the cocoa husk setup, maybe. I don't know. I want to put her in the cocoa husk eventually, but I don't know. I don't know if I should do it now or if I should wait for one more growth, because what's concerning me is this one here in the middle might not be able to get her roots down into the media because she is right here in the middle, but I don't know what cocoa husk would do to solve that problem. Any ideas, leave them in the comments below. I'd appreciate it. But look at this. Boom. Let me stand up. Look at this. That's my fragrance fantasy that decided to bloom the day after the Care collab. I came home from work and one little bloom was open. Very, very cute. Aren't they cute? And of course, these over here are going to be opening soon. Once you see the color on the buds, they'll open a little bit after that. Looks like I have one that blasted right here, but I'll leave it there, and if it falls off, it falls off. And the largest of the spikes is starting to swell up her buds as well. And another thing is I did move the white showers from under the lights, the stronger Barina lights, put her down here where she's still getting bright light, but not strong light. And the leaf stuff that was going on has stopped. Like this is dry, and then this one here is dry. So I might still lose these 2 leaves, but I feel like now when they do grow the new growths, it won't affect the loss. So I will leave them down here just to see. And of course the new growths on this one and this one are doing well. My rhododromia, is that how you say that? The new growth is just getting very large and in charge. She's starting to spread her fan. This is the one, she's in this basket with, let's see, it's small bark, moss, and some charcoal. And then the mounts, this one here is starting a new leaf right there, and then she's got that little root coming out that I'm hoping it's aerial because I really want that wild look. This one here has a root coming down there, and then this one here still has that aerial root, but no new leaf growth or anything that I can see. BCT Hawaiian Treat is just going crazy. So we have this new growth, and let me just zoom it in a little bit so we can see there's a new growth right up back of there. This one is still growing. This one here, let me zoom back out, so there we go, is still growing, but look at all the roots this lady is producing. I say these ladies, different growths, but we have all these roots here, and there are roots growing in the back as well. So she's settled into this mount, and I've been watering this mount about every 3 days with the heat on, so that's actually not bad. I was expecting to have to water every day with the mounts, but I'm finding about every 3 days is working. And then Miss Spots right here, I did lower the light more down because I want this spike to kind of arch down, and since she's already starting on the arch, now I want her to kind of go this way to the light so that she has that pretty arch, so we can see that, because I don't want it going straight up. This one here is a no name, and she's just producing lots of roots, and she is absorbing this back leaf, which is fine. She's in recovery, so she can absorb those because she's still kicking out leaves. She's working on this leaf right here, actually. And I did move my soft clouds over here because of the big girl that I bought, and her buds are getting ready to open, and the light, the direction that she's in, is still going in the same direction as it was when she was by the window. And let's just finish off with our Paphiopedilums here. So Paphiopedilum Macrobay Pops is still looking really, really good. Doesn't look any sign of going over quite yet. And the new growth back there is doing really well. The Amaryllis is sitting here as well. Bright light, not strong, just bright light. And I noticed, because I did the repot on this maybe a couple of days ago, but the cocoa must have been really wet because I did not wet the soil when I topped her off, and you can see parts of it are wet where it's absorbing that excess moisture. And my male star here is just working on all her leaves. Mama is starting to get absorbed, which is natural, so I'm not worried about that. And the red apple finally got her spike cut off a couple of days ago, but her new growth is really starting to take off as well now. Spring Pleasure, her new growth. She's growing really fast. Like, she's growing really, really fast. And I know that the model leaves grow faster than the solid green ones, but oh my goodness, she's just going faster than the rest. And then the Shin Yi Heart, her new growth as well is starting to get a lot larger. And then here we have my Sunshine 2.0. Let me grab her because that glare. But I'll put it right here. So Sunshine 2.0, I put in this glass vase, fancy way of saying vase, with moss. Now there are rocks at the bottom. The moss is in there really, really loose. Now she came in the moss, that plastic, what is it called? Plastic whatever pot that the nurseries grow her in, and in that moss, haven't taken her out since I bought her. But I did repot her into here because if we look really closely, we can see she's got new roots growing, and then that root right there that is just touching the top of the moss is a new root. So she should take to this rather fine. I took her out of moss, compacted moss, and I put her in this here. And for those of you who are going to say she's not going to get aeration in that glass pot. This moss is very, very airy, more airy than the plastic pot she was in, which also doesn't provide a lot of air circulation. And I did leave, so there's some roots there I can monitor, and I have some, I believe, on this side. As you can see, there's a big air gap right there for aeration. And I know I have more roots somewhere else. Let's see if I can find them. Ah, there they are. And then we have those roots right there I can monitor. And as you can see, there's quite a few air pockets in there. It's also got charcoal and perlite for aeration. Now, if I see she starts going downhill, I will take her out of here quickly. And this glass is that it's kind of got like a brown tint to it, so that it doesn't grow algae in here as quickly. And that's another reason why I have her on the table over here, to try to protect her from getting a lot of direct light in there for the algae to grow. And let's just end it on some pretty blooms. All right, well, everybody have a wonderful day. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.